Palantir is stabilizing its price today. The market is slowly recovering. People are keeping their eyes on the chart. Analysts are dropping massive bombshells. A value of $20 trillion is no joke. NVIDIA CEO just shocked the whole Palantir community. Will we finally see the light at the end of the tunnel? Or is this something else? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Okay, today might not be the worst day for Palantir. After a rough patch, the stock has managed to catch a bit of a break, bouncing back slightly and hovering somewhere in the mid-80s. Sure, it's still in the red, but we're finally seeing little signs of life, a few glimmers of a potential recovery. And honestly, that's something to hold on to. It's not a massive jump, but even small steps in the right direction can bring a little relief. For those of us following Palantir closely, this feels like a much-needed breather. It's like the market is starting to ease up, giving the stock a chance to find its footing again. The overall atmosphere is slowly shifting, with a more bullish vibe creeping in. Analysts are paying close attention, watching for any signals that could point to a stronger comeback. Of course, it's still too early to call it a full recovery, but at least we're seeing some movement in the right direction. Could this be the beginning of a bigger push upward? Well, that's the big question, and we'll just have to watch and see how things play out. But here's the thing. One analyst took a deep dive into Palantir's chart, and let's just say he didn't hold back. He called it the poster boy of an overheated market, saying that when the stock was soaring, people were convinced it would just keep going, pushing valuations into the stratosphere. Then reality kicked in. And well, let's just say the market decided it had enough. Right now, it's all about key levels. The stock is kind of stuck in a tug-of-war between support and resistance. If the bears want to push it down further, they'll need to break through the levels that have been holding strong so far. On the flip side, if the bulls want to see a stronger rebound, those trend lines need to hold firm. It's basically a two-on-two showdown between buyers and sellers, with the stock caught in the middle. And this analyst? He's not too optimistic. He thinks support won't hold, and if that happens, Palantir could slide down toward the lower 70s before it finds enough momentum for a bounce. He's waiting for it to hit that sweet spot, where it looks oversold, before jumping back in for a potential swing trade. Oh, and here's something wild. Out of nearly 700 big-name stocks trading in the US, Palantir is the only one still sitting way above its long-term moving average, even after dropping over 30% from its peak. No other stock is in that position. Just goes to show how crazy overextended it was. And honestly, still kind of is. So yeah, the battle continues. The question is, which side is going to win? But wait, before you start thinking it's all doom and gloom, not everyone is bearish on Palantir. In fact, some analysts are still pretty bullish, and one even thinks the stock is on the verge of a breakout. He pointed out that key technical indicators are actually signaling an upward move. Basically, these momentum indicators are lining up perfectly with wave analysis, suggesting that Palantir might be gearing up for a rally, maybe even as soon as the next trading session. It's like all the pieces of the puzzle are coming together, hinting that the stock could be ready to push higher. This analyst is tracking a few different scenarios, but the main idea, Palantir could be setting up for a move into the triple digits, following a specific pattern known as a flat ABC wave. There's also a chance it might dip slightly before taking off, but overall, everything he's looking at points to an upside move happening sooner rather than later. What's really interesting is that all the different wave counts he's analyzing, even though they have slight variations, are basically saying the same thing. Palantir is either at its bottom or extremely close to it. That kind of agreement across different methods makes the bullish case even stronger. So for investors and traders watching Palantir, the takeaway here is pretty clear. The setup is looking more like a launch pad than a trapdoor. Instead of expecting more heavy drops, this analysis suggests being prepared for an upward push. The way things are shaping up, a move toward higher prices could be right around the corner. Now the question is, who's going to be right? The bears calling for lower prices, or the bulls who see a breakout coming? But wait, there's even more good news. One analyst just pointed out something pretty wild. He revealed that Elon Musk and Doge have been slashing contracts left and right, canceling deals worth almost $1 billion with a bunch of big-name companies, mainly those fancy consulting firms that charge a fortune for steak dinners and flashy PowerPoint presentations. And guess what? Palantir wasn't on that list. Not a single contract was canceled. 0. That's a big deal. It means Musk sees real value in what Palantir brings to the table. He's not cutting them off like the others because Palantir actually delivers. Unlike those traditional firms that rely on polished sales pitches, Palantir's technology speaks for itself. It's built to handle massive amounts of data, make sense of complex problems, and provide real-world solutions. Things Musk, of all people, would appreciate. Think about it. Musk is all about efficiency, cutting waste, and keeping only what works. If Palantir was just another overpriced firm with fancy presentations, they'd be gone too. But they're not. They're still in the game, untouched, while others are getting the axe. That says a lot about how valuable their technology really is. So while other companies are scrambling after losing big contracts, Palantir is standing strong. And that's a huge vote of confidence. But here's the crazy part. It doesn't stop there. NVIDIA's CEO just dropped some massive news that could be a game changer for Palantir. Jensen Huang, the guy leading NVIDIA, said that the robotics era isn't some distant future. It's right around the corner. He made this bold claim during his CES keynote, and ever since, interest in robotics companies has been heating up. The problem? There aren't a lot of investable robotics stocks out there right now. But that's about to change as AI keeps advancing, making robots smarter, safer, and able to move seamlessly alongside humans. So, why is this a big deal for Palantir? Simple. Palantir's technology is all about data, AI, and making complex systems work together. And what do robots need? Exactly that. The more AI-powered automation grows, the more companies will need Palantir software to process mountains of real-time data and make split-second decisions. This is why Palantir's current price? Just temporary. We're barely at the starting line. The market might be shaky right now, but if you zoom out and look at where things are heading, it's clear. Palantir is positioning itself right in the middle of the next big wave. AI, automation, robotics, it all connects. And when this sector takes off, Palantir won't just be riding the wave, it'll be helping build it. So yeah, the short-term price swings, they don't tell the full story. We're just getting started. And here's the kicker. If you're still feeling nervous about Palantir's price, one analyst shared a perspective that might change the way you look at it. Yeah, the stock took a hit, dropping from the highs of around 125 to the mid-80s. But here's the thing. It's still up over the past few months. Even with all the dips, all the volatility, Palantir is still in the green over a solid stretch of time. That's the bigger picture most people miss. Stocks don't just move in a straight line up. They have pullbacks, corrections, and shakeouts, especially ones that have had huge runs like Palantir. A dip doesn't erase the fact that the trend is still up, and the fact that it's holding on to gains even after a drop? That says a lot about its overall strength. So sure, the short-term moves can be a little nerve-wracking, but step back for a second. Despite the ups and downs, Palantir is still outperforming, and if the long-term vision plays out, this might just be another bump in the road before the next leg up. So yeah, looking at the long term, Palantir seems to be gearing up for a pretty bright future. And not just bright, some analysts are downright hopeful. One even went as far as saying that Palantir is on its way to becoming a company worth over 20 trillion. Yeah, trillion with a T. And when it happens, Palantir's stock price will be around $8,700 per share. Now, of course, that's a bold prediction, and we're talking speculation here. But the fact that people are even having these conversations, that says a lot. It shows how much confidence there is in what Palantir is building. The company isn't just another tech stock. It's got real-world applications, serious government contracts, and a role in AI and data that's only growing. These kinds of massive predictions don't just come out of nowhere. They're based on the idea that if Palantir keeps scaling, keeps innovating, and keeps proving its value, there's no telling how big it can get. And the fact that the community is this optimistic, that alone speaks volumes. It's not just hype, it's belief in what's possible. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money. So don't. Today's market is recovering. Palantir's price is finally moving, giving a glimpse of that $90 range. According to analysts, today is really crucial for Palantir. But there's something big you need to know. Wall Street just dropped massive bombshells. Palantir's next price has been leaked. But there's something suspicious about this. Do they know something we don't know? Is this the start of full recovery? Or is this something else? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Palantir made some seriously exciting moves today, and for those of us who have been sticking with it through all the ups and downs, this feels like a breath of fresh air. The stock surged all the way up to $90 per share before settling around $85. And while that might not sound like a groundbreaking jump to some, for the Palantir community, this is a massive moment. Let's be real. Palantir has been through some rough times. Investors have watched the stock struggle, dip, and test their patience more times than they'd like to count. But today, for the first time in a while, we're seeing a real spark of recovery. And that's not just good news, it's game-changing. Because it's not just about the numbers, it's about what this move represents. This little rally shows that confidence is creeping back in. Investors who were once doubtful might start rethinking their stance. Those who were on the fence about buying in might finally see a reason to make a move. And for the people who held through all the turbulence, this is the kind of moment that makes it all feel worth it. Seeing Palantir push forward like this is a reminder that, despite everything, this stock still has the potential we always believed in. And let's not forget what happens when confidence returns. Momentum builds. When investors start feeling bullish, the entire atmosphere shifts. The hesitation, the fear, the uncertainty, that starts fading away. Instead of questioning whether Palantir can turn things around, people start asking how high it can go. That's the kind of shift that can completely change the trajectory of a stock. So, while this might just be one step in the right direction, it's a big one. It's the kind of movement that could set the tone for what's next. And if this trend continues, well, let's just say, things could get really interesting for Palantir very soon. But here's the thing. While today's move looks exciting, not everyone is convinced this is the start of a true comeback. One analyst took a deep dive into Palantir's price chart and came to a much darker conclusion. According to him, the bulls are cooked. He pointed out something pretty eye-opening. The monthly shooting star candle just printed, and it has the highest trading volume since Palantir's inception. That's not exactly a bullish sign. In fact, it suggests a serious rejection at the highs. And if that wasn't enough, he made it clear. Buyers weren't exactly rushing in after that massive 1,800% pump from the lows. So while today's rally feels like a win, the bigger picture might tell a different story. This isn't just about one good day. It's about whether there's real strength behind the move. But wait, you might be wondering, what actually just happened? Why did Palantir's price suddenly go volatile? Did we miss something big? Well, it looks like Wall Street just dropped some massive bombshells, and they're shaking things up in a big way. Wedbush just reiterated its outperform rating on Palantir, keeping its price target at a jaw-dropping $120. That alone is enough to get people talking. But it's why they did it that makes this even more exciting. Analysts are seeing something huge here. An unmatched AI moat, a trillion-dollar market opportunity, and a growth trajectory that looks a lot like what Oracle pulled off back in the day. In other words, they think Palantir isn't just another AI stock. It's the AI stock. And it gets even better. Wedbush expects Palantir to land more massive orders from the US government, keeping its status as a top-tier player in the big leagues of federal contracts. That's a huge deal. Dan Ives, one of the biggest names in the analyst world, dropped another bombshell in a note to clients. Based on what he's hearing in Washington, D.C., Palantir could be on the verge of something huge. There's growing talk that the efficiency focus of Doge's plan, yeah, you heard that right, could be a major breakthrough for companies like Palantir. Why? Because its unique software offering fits perfectly with what's happening in Washington, especially under Trump and Musk's influence. And here's where it gets even crazier. If this momentum keeps up, Palantir could lock in more deals, grab even bigger IT budgets, and solidify itself as a government powerhouse for years to come. If that happens, this stock isn't just recovering. It could be setting up for something massive. The hype is real. And if investors start piling in, we could see Palantir's price skyrocket way beyond where it is now. But wait, if Palantir is this promising, why has its stock been crashing lately? If everything is lining up for massive growth, why isn't the price reflecting that? And even crazier, why is Wall Street still so bullish despite the dip? Something isn't adding up. See, when a stock tanks, it usually means investors are losing confidence. But that's not what's happening here. In fact, analysts are doubling down on their bullish outlook, calling Palantir a game changer with a trillion-dollar potential. They're still pushing high price targets, still seeing long-term upside, still calling it a must-watch stock. So what's going on? This kind of disconnect is suspicious. Either Wall Street knows something the rest of us don't, or they're deliberately playing the long game, waiting for retail investors to panic and sell before loading up at a discount. The reality is, short-term price moves don't always reflect a company's true value. And right now, Palantir's fundamentals, government contracts, and AI dominance are all pointing in one direction: long-term growth. So the real question isn't just why the price is dropping, it's who is taking advantage of it. But here's something even crazier. One analyst just explained why buying Palantir stock right now could actually set you up for life. Yeah, that sounds dramatic, but when you hear the reasoning, it starts making a whole lot of sense. Let's take a step back and look at what Palantir actually does and why it matters so much. We all hear about AI changing the world, but Palantir is one of the few companies actually making it happen. This isn't just about fancy algorithms, it's about completely transforming how businesses and governments operate. Right now, every company, every agency, every organization is drowning in data. There are hidden gold mines inside that data, ways to sell better, improve customer experiences, speed up supply chains, cut down costs. But for years, it's been up to human managers to slowly sift through all that information, trying to spot tiny improvements over months or even years. It's slow, it's messy, and it barely scratches the surface of what's actually possible. That's where Palantir comes in. Instead of relying on humans to connect the dots, its AI can instantly scan through everything and find the patterns no one else can see. It tells companies exactly where they're wasting money, where they could be more efficient, and how they can stay ahead of the competition, all in real time. It's like having a crystal ball for running a business, and the results speak for themselves. Palantir isn't just some cool tech. It's fundamentally changing the way industries work, and people are starting to catch on. And here's where it gets even bigger. We are just at the beginning of an AI explosion. Last quarter alone, companies announced $325 billion in AI investments for 2025. Apple is going even further, with a jaw-dropping $500 billion AI spending plan over the next 4 years. That's $500 billion flowing into AI. Sure, some of that money will go to chip makers like NVIDIA, but a huge portion is going straight into AI software, and that's exactly where Palantir thrives. But the real magic happens when smaller businesses start jumping in. Right now, AI is mostly being used by massive corporations and government agencies. But imagine what happens when mid-sized companies, local businesses, and entire industries like construction, retail, and real estate start using AI to run smarter, faster, and cheaper. Palantir's platform could be the go-to tool for all of them, unlocking an entirely new wave of growth that's barely even started yet. That's why analysts are saying Palantir's future is so much bigger than what we've seen so far. The AI revolution isn't slowing down. It's only just heating up. Now, let's talk about the stock. If you've been watching Palantir, you know it's had some wild moves. It's rallied hard from its lows, and some experts are saying a pullback could be coming. But here's the thing. Short-term dips don't matter when the long-term story is this strong. Palantir has already made early investors a ton of money, but this could still be just the beginning. With AI spending going through the roof, government contracts rolling in, and businesses waking up to the power of AI-driven decision-making, Palantir is in the perfect spot for massive growth. And here's the real kicker. According to him, market volatility might actually be the opportunity here. Right now, with all the uncertainty in the stock market, Palantir shares are trading at a discount compared to just a few weeks ago. And for people who have a long-term mindset, this could be one of those moments. The kind of opportunity where, years from now, people look back and say, I wish I had bought more. Palantir isn't just another tech stock. It's shaping the future of AI. And as the world shifts towards AI-powered everything, this company could be riding a wave that's only going to get bigger and bigger. And when you look at everything happening right now, it's obvious. Palantir isn't just here to stay, it's on track to dominate the market. Wall Street sees it too. Analysts are saying Palantir could land even more deals and bigger IT budgets from Washington. The government is shifting toward AI-driven efficiency, and Palantir's platform is a perfect fit. Dan Ives even pointed out that insiders in DC believe Palantir's unique software could be a game-changer in the coming years, locking in major federal contracts. If that happens, it won't just boost revenue, it could completely shift how investors see Palantir. More contracts mean more credibility, more confidence, and way more money flowing in. This isn't just another AI stock hype cycle. Palantir is becoming a cornerstone of AI-driven business and government. And as Washington pours in funding, the market will have no choice but to take notice. The pieces are falling into place. The only question is, are you ready for what's coming? But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.